it up!
Okay, we are live. Hi, there's Star here. We're going to be playing some Gensosuikoden today. This time for the Sega Saturn. Released, I'm going to say 96. Sometime in 1996 for the Sega Saturn, a port of the original PlayStation release. Hi, White Witch nominee. Let's enjoy some of this Japanese Sega Saturn Suikoden opening. This opening would actually be reused for the 2005 PSP re-release of Suikoden 1 and 2. The collection, that is, not a PSN release. They would use this opening instead of the PlayStation 1. Hi, Heem Shiny. Also in the chat. Yeah, it's a lot nicer. You know, we got some classic PS1 CG, we got some 2-frame animation. Got Leknot asking us questions about fate. Even at his most powerless, man's something is never without the other thing. It does have a lot of character art. Almost didn't end up playing this. Almost ended up starting another new game because I got into a whole thing with finding old Mega Drive Genesis games, but look at that 3D rotating on the press start button screen. Take that, Sony. Alright. What is the correct button? There we go. Okay. Oh, Japanese, I'm already daunted. But I remember Japanese-ish. I kind of have to remember where they would position all of this katakana. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Boom, boom. Where is... There. There we go. Ryui, aka Louis. Yes, I won't be of a lot of help in translating this. A lot of this will be just sheer osmosis of 20 years of playing the original Suikoden in English on the PlayStation. You know, it all looks very Suikoden-y. Hey, Kazim. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that's the menu button. The menu in the Japanese version, and this is true of both Saturn and PlayStation, are laid out a little differently. As you can see, you know, we got item, rune, equipment, status, formation, and options. Message speed, window opacity, stereo and mono sound. I can tell that much. Alright. Let's talk to Tio. See if I can remember some Japanese here. Doshita, Riri, Kincho, Shite, Iru no ka, Anshin Shiro. Eken wa sugu ni owaru omae wa itsumodori nishite iriba yoi. Kote heiki wa kibishi katana ga osoru hitsu yo wanai. And that's just exactly the same as the English version. More or less. You know, Master Tio, Master Louis, the Emperor will see you now. Announcements. Bop, bop, shoop, bop. Hey, Howling Vice. Sadly, I will never truly learn Japanese land speak. You can tell, or maybe you can, I can tell, the portraits are a little different. They're kind of smoothed out. They're not quite as pixelated. I've heard arguments that actually looks worse. Here's our obligatory City-State of Joustin reference. That minister has an entry in the Suikoden Encyclopedia, despite not having a name and not having a portrait or any sort of artwork. Here's your sword prac. Hey Louis, will you help out the Empire? I don't wanna. Sure. Quite an impressive little countenance. Oh, Master Craze will be the boss guy. Foo foo foo, says Windy. If LePant's cape will still look like his chest, thank you. I always thought that. I always thought LePant must have been super buff because he had this huge protruding chest. Like these massive pecs. Oh, you have a fine son, Tio. You're embarrassing me, Kazum. It doesn't help that both his cloak and his skin tone in that artwork are both mega orange. Big traps, big straps. Hey there, caffeine fueled. Yep, suit of armor. 100 patch. Bocci. Of course, it's always been Potch in the Japanese version. Craze Miles here with, thanks to the power of the Sega Saturn and its 2D rendering capabilities, his portrait now looks like the oiliest MFer alive. Hey, true perception. We're all turning out today for this hot Japanese Gensosuikoden. Why was it changed to bits? It's a mistranslation, I believe. Poch, Pochi to Bochi to Bichi would be a pretty easy mistake to make, I believe, if you were scanning the lines quickly. And then if you have to make some sense of that localization, bits. This version is Japanese only, yes. Suikoden was never localized outside of Japan for the Sega Saturn. Stew! Stew! That HD Gremio. Z in English for snoring. For pawn. North American Saturn really could have used Suikoden. Oh yeah. I believe at the time there were a number of Saturn magazines in North America and Europe that were pretty jazzed about the possibility of Suikoden coming over. Of course, even at that relatively early stage, Saturn magazines kind of had to be jazzed about the possibility of any game coming over. Ah, look at this very clearly rendered Ted. Hi, Ted. Yes, Ted, we'll tell you about Windy. I love Cleo too. Cleo's pretty awesome. Okay. His smile looks a little goofy. This is how his smile was always intended to be. Ted was always goofy. Oh, Ted, I'm gonna tell you something. Oh, it can wait, don't worry about it. Time for dinner. I mean, everyone's hair in these portraits look like they've really used a lot of gel. Gremio, hi. You know, Louis, he's not so bad. Good thing you raised him well, because I sure as hell didn't. Oh, thanks. That's great. Cleo, Pan, keep being surrogate parents, even though he has one actual biological parent here. Ted, I know you're a little shit, so you'll just hang out with him no matter what I say. Aha, you betcha, I'm really 300 years up. Whoops. Alright, let's get drunk. I want to say, isn't, I don't remember. Is this in grayscale on the PlayStation? Ah, there we go. Nominee confirms. Sega Saturn. Quite a powerful console. Could not output Grey, apparently. Oh shoot, we got a crash. Sorry. That sucks. What a suck-ass thing to happen. Definitely cannot close Tier's eyes. Gremio crashed the game, like I always knew he would. Alright, we can just rush through the opening stage again. And maybe I'll do a save at Marie's Inn before returning to boom, 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 boom. There we go. Stew's too good. I knew it. Alright. Boom. Tio. Hi, how you doing? Yep, great. Meeting the Emperor is scary. I gotcha. I know, Dad. God. You're always embarrassing me. Don't embarrass me in front of the Emperor. Hello, Tio. Foo, 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 foo. Hey, Tio, check out my totally evil-looking side chick. Foo, 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 foo. Now, you see, I didn't test this game much before streaming, which is always the mistake I make. So, I am hoping that that is not a fixed crash point, as it were. Even if it was, there'd be ways around it, but it would just take a minute or two to fix. Alright, back here at the house with Game Wrecking Gremio. Yep, the stew. That too good stew. Okay. Let's head to Marie's. Gonna be like, hey, let me save, just in case the game keeps crashing. No, Gremio didn't kick me out. I just covered up my tier test save there. may have noticed the music stops and restarts between screens, even if it's the same track, which is a weakness of the Saturn version of this game. Obviously in the PlayStation version, for the most part, the music stays consistent, as in if the same track is playing in between screens, like in houses in the same town and so on, that track is just continuous. In the Saturn version, the track fades out. That can be quite bothersome. Alright, back to the not very grayscale nighttime scene. Alright, we can save here to diary. Forgot about that. Alright, I think we're back on track. The stew was not too powerful this time. Let's go see Ted being a little shit. Yeah. Wake up, Ted. Wake up, Ted. Wake up, Ted. Oh, you don't want to wake up? Oh, I guess we'll just leave you. Oh no, Ted wants to come after all. And then he whines at you. He's like, how could you leave me? Classic Ted. For sure. You know, oh yeah, he's going to beat up the rebels, the rebel army. I know, dude. Those rebels, they sure do suck. Alright. You may be Tio's son, but that doesn't mean you're getting special treatment from me. You know, Northeast to Gregminster, Magician's Island. Hey, which way did I just say? Pay attention, jerk. Somewhere on this earth. Take that, craze. Overall, the English localization of the PlayStation Suikoden is pretty good. So, if you remember most of what that game says, or at least the gist of it, you're doing okay. You know, oh, it sucks that we have to listen to a creep like Craze, but the astral conclusions are important. Gremio's just, I'll do what young master says. And Ted's like, Dragon Knights, I love Dragon Knights. I won't get into a fight with a 10-year-old. Ron Howard Vice? He did. Here's Futch. Fuchi. And of course, Black. The Elephant Dragon. Oh, you're a Dragonite. You're not a Dragonite. You're just a punk. What? I'm not a punk. You're a punk. What? Punk? I'm 300 years old. Duh. And Gremmy was like, shut up, Ted. I don't know you're 300 years old, but even I know I should get in the way of this conversation. Their faces are all so smooth. I captured a bunch of these portraits for my own private use. But I'm not sure if I have them on this laptop right now. In this high-res version of Suikoden, they could have at least added a basket. Like they claim he has. After that first crash, now I'm increasingly paranoid at every stop in this game. That's the other thing about the Saturn version. Worse load times. And without the nifty little loading screens. I hope you forgive me for save stating. Do I need to go back to Gregminster? No. Leave me alone. I own 2 copies of this game, 2 physical copies. One, the case got damaged, so I just ordered another copy. The Saturn version of the game is actually surprisingly inexpensive. Run or auto? Run. Fight, run, bribe, auto. You see the death animations are a little different on the enemies. The Japanese status screen is different, but that's common to both the Saturn and PlayStation versions of the game. Interminable loading. There we go. Nothing over here, that's right. Yeah, they're bittered instead of solid. Yes, they are most definitely solid in the PlayStation version. And you know, for the most part, the games are pretty similar. What will come up later is spell effects, spell animations will be quite different. Fans of the series may already be aware that there is the 2 major changes are there's Aki's Coliseum minigame, and there's an entire quest line added in to this version. There is definitely a heart stat. More games need a heart stat. Oh, there we go. We're getting a crash. I saw that coming. That's a shame. I wonder, is that crash timed? Does that happen like every... every 10, 15 minutes? Does it happen with a dip in performance? That's okay. It allows me to overwrite that battle where I forgot which selection was auto and which wasn't. Could set a stopwatch. It wouldn't hurt. I could keep track of the time myself, but... It's a pain streaming from this laptop because this laptop has definitely seen better days. So I never know what's going to react badly. That's medicine I just picked up, by the way. Yes, the treasure chest is rendered differently. I think it's a palette issue, actually. Like there's a slightly different color palette applied to it. We will see those treasure chests in more detail later when they're not hidden behind trees or what have you. Alright, sweet level ups. And that means I'm going to... Loading. That load time is bad. Like, objectively. Music fades out. But yes, as I was saying, besides the major additions, a lot of the changes are merely cosmetic. The loading is jarring. There we go. You can get a better look at that blue tinted chest now. Okay, armor. I get armor because I'm the hero. I'm the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. Wow, we have two vastly different interpretations of that chest in the chat. Corroded or diamond? Cast your vote, I guess. The load time does make me terrified the game is going to crash every time I switch screens. That's why we're going to be continuously save stating. Alright. Here he is. Luke. Ruku. Now, this is the same, of course, in the Japanese PlayStation version, but you can see clearly here he is using the true wind rune. Whereas in the English version of Suikoden, of course, he just says wind rune. That's a slightly different sound effect. Okay. Oh, right, you didn't get to see this. The selection shadow is now this spinning gradient. Because why not? Right? Imagine if they tried to put Suikoden 2 on the Saturn. I mean, it would have probably have run just fine. Save for load times. This is the gay representation we deserve. Not until Suikoden 5 was there so much gay representation in the series. That was an easy win. The most chaotic Photoshop color picker. That's right. Chaotic neutral Photoshop. Yes, I know you're the Imperial Guard. Then why did you attack us, you jerk? I don't even know why. I have severe emotional trauma. Didn't bother to animate these flames. Didn't take advantage of the Saturn's increased power to do that. Are they even meant to be flames, or are they just like icicles that Leknot puts in posts for some reason? I mean, she's allowed. Yeah, maybe it's ice. I'm not sure why she would have ice torches, but as I said, she can do what she wants. Game still has the awkward stepping upstairs animation. Bop bop bop. Everything Leknot does is valid. Even if I'm convinced she would have been a villain eventually in the series if, you know, the Suikoden series had continued, and if the Suikoden series had bothered with continuity. Louis hopping up one step at a time. Hey, Leknot. I'm just gonna take the astral conclusions myself. Bye. I don't need you to call me cute. You're like 400 years older than me. I will say the Leknot portrait looks very nice in the Saturn version. She called you cute, Louis. That's so gay. Ted is the worst. That reflection from the stained glass window is strange because it also appears at the Liberation Army headquarters. So I always felt that it had some meaning, but it never really that but it's never referenced or mentioned in anything. So what's your name? Louis? Such a friendly name. I had a friend who, you know, in the peak of 13-year-old edgelordness, named the main character of this game Blade, which Leknot found to be an equally friendly name. The button icon in the corner presses a lot faster. You know, Sega does what Sony don't, as the ads did not say at the time. They didn't have time. This is the console of Sonic the Hedgehog. Press that fucking button. Get through this. Gotta go fast. In the Gensosuikoden novelization, it is revealed that Leknot does foresee the Gate of Ruin War, the events of this game, but does not report it in the Astral Conclusions, the prophetic texts she has just handed us to deliver to the Empire, because she did not wish to alarm people over something that really couldn't be changed that much. Hey Luke, I think that teleport effect is also different. Luke would never trick anyone. Oh yeah, here comes the ship fuel. Like the music cuts out for the sound effect. Another true wind rune. I think on the PS1 version it might be a flash. Like they just did right there. And that's a Soul Eater spell sound effect that they just blatantly reused. I mean, if we're considering Luke up to this point and we're not considering Luke in future games, then yes. I guess the argument could be made that he is a good boy, albeit a bit of a prankster. Yeah, there's lots of little changes like that in terms of animation speed. And it's hard to tell which are intentional and which may just be side effects of putting this game on a different console, on a different engine. The Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation were two very different consoles architecturally. I don't know much about the fine details of it, but the general gist of the situation is that the Saturn was very good at 2D, at rendering sprites. It was designed and developed to be a Mega Drive / Genesis follow-up, and so saw the future as still being sprite-based. it was Sony who had the foresight to decide that 3D polygons would be the future of video gaming. And its architecture was designed with that in mind. That's a crash right after I autosaved. That does feel like it's coming at a regular juncture. Yeah. I wonder what's causing that. You'll start to stopwatch again? Thank you, Nominee. See, this is what's great about their star streams, you know? The level of interactivity you can only get from me might be a memory leak. You are probably right, Caffeine Fueled. I kind of really dig Kanan. Like, I know he's a minor tier villain, but just his pomposity, his really red suit, it's all good stuff for me. Ho hum, says Pan. Let's see, Rockland, east of Gregminster, tax situation, they won't pay, so go to Rockland, find out why they won't pay. Come on, stop repeating everything I say. You kid, stop repeating everything he says. Idiot, I'm talking to you, Kanan. What? Who? What? Who? Whatever. Rockland, go there. I'm coming with you, says Kanan. Alright, we're going to talk to Kraz over and over until we get his emotional breakdown. Rockland, to the east. Commander's name is Grady. Taxes. Rockland, east. Commander, Grady. There we go, that was the one I was looking for. Kanan will definitely be helpful. I was very new to RPGs when I played this game, so I was expecting Kanan to join the party. Even if I knew like he would be useless, I thought he would at least be there to flail impotently. I think it's hard to underestimate the impact this game had on me and my ideas of what RPGs do. No, Gremio didn't kick me out, Marie. That's why he's right beside me. Alright, while that 50-minute load comes up, I'm going to see if there's any solution to a memory leak. I think, can't confirm this, I think the world map theme is a little different. Got that hot remix. Got that hot buzzing sound. Oh, thank you, Amps. I see you. I should give a shout out to Amps and Bolts, who's a streamer I've been following over the past week or so. He's an English teacher in Korea Republic, South Korea, whatever you want to call it. He's been streaming near Automata. Good guy. You know, kind of good, chill streamer. Which is definitely what I look for. Relaxing time. So give him a heads up. Should you ever want another streamer in your rotation. I'm not sure if the mosquito noise is different or if there's just more of it. Alright, let's get that save in. And then we're going to talk to Marco, not only to check out Marco's wonderful new portrait, but also because Marco's minigame is completely different in the Saturn version of this game. Oh wait, is it? Because this looks similar to me now. Okay, yeah. Okay, how does this go? Right, we have to guess which ones are heads and which ones are tails. You know, or which one has, yeah, heads or tails, you know. I think this game is slightly easier because even if you're wrong, if you don't guess the exact lineup, even if you have 2 out of 3 right. Interesting, can you still do the glitch in the PS1 version where you can play on easy, then reset, and the results are the same on higher difficulty? I don't know. Because here's the thing. Because of the very nature of what this game is in this version, the higher difficulty, you know, the 10,000 potch version of this game, technically isn't any more difficult than the 100 potch version. You're still just betting, hey, I think 2 of these will be heads, or 3 of them, or 1 of them. But I'll tell you what, no, I'd have to exit and reload to test it, because doing it from a save state wouldn't give the same result, because I don't know when the RNG seed kicks in for the game, so that wouldn't be much good. But I'm still going to do it because I want lots of money. You don't get less time to look at the kinds. I mean, the kinds are just spinning. And I don't think they spin in any particular way. Oh, I got that one right. As mentioned, this feels a lot easier to win. Although I guess if you had fantastic eyesight, Marco's original game probably feels very easy to win. Okay, you see I lost that one. Maybe there is something about spying on the kinds that I haven't noticed. But you see, if you get 2 right, you still win something. I'm just winning a lot more for getting 3 right. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as you, Shiny, in that I could do 1000 bits regularly, and 10,000 bits was kind of a crapshoot. I believe I did it on the Suikoden 1 stream, actually, but... See there, I got the number right, but not the order, so I think that counts as a tie. Will that get me to 10,000? Not quite. I would like to get to 10,000 potch, so I could check out and see if there's any difference there. Although I guess the easiest one to test the difference would be, that's really bad. Like, that's a loss. See, I get partial credit for that because it was 2,000 or 2 out of 3. And that's what makes this game easier. You know, there's just more room to fail. There we go, that got me to 10,000. So let's save and try that. Okay, yeah, you definitely get less time to look. Not that it matters, because I got all 3 of those right. So, what does that... We're all learning here. But at the same time, those spinning kinds don't seem to be telling me anything about what face will show. So that's strange. Okay. Got these lovely gravestones, but they are not important. Alright, this guy's trying to turn us away, but then Kanan is being helpful, I should point out. He throws his authority around. Then all of a sudden, that guy is very polite. Grady's like, huh? They're the Imperial Guard. Show them in, fool. Grady taller than the door frame. Grady still no portrait despite having official artwork. That's something they should have changed. Oh, there's the crash. I knew I spent too long doing that. Trouble is, streaming, I don't really have the multitasking capability to fix a memory leak in the Whisper It Saturn emulator. It is quite obvious that I did not test stream this for 15 minutes. Okay. As mentioned, I own 2 copies of this game imported from Japan. No one can get on my case about emulating this. If they were to accuse me of doing so, which they would be very wrong in doing. Naturally. Alright, Grady is just laying down the scenario here. Grady would love to pay taxes, only whoops, bandits keep stealing the taxes before they even get to Gregminster. How is he, what's a small town provincial governor to do? You can tell he's loyal. He has not 1 but 2 identical Scarlet Moon Empire tapestries. Crashing is no big deal if you save state often enough. Yeah, it doesn't really disrupt the stream. That's good to know. Thank you, Shiny. I mean, I don't really care if it bothers me. Well, obviously I care if it bothers me because it bothers me. But I'm more concerned about it affecting the stream, Oh yes, there was definitely a crash nominee. I think we can confirm the 15-minute theory. I think Caffeine Fueled is in the right area when he suggests it's a memory leak issue. I just can't do much to troubleshoot or fix that at the moment. I mean, I could, but it would mean taking the stream down and doing a lot of Googling, and I may not even find a fix, and blah 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 blah. And basically, I have Shiny's permission to not care. And that's what matters. Alright, here we are. We're going to beat up some tax-stealing mountain thieves. Pawn, you take the lead. What, why? Because I'm a coward. Yeah. Yeah, the loading screen is very jarring. And it's so sudden. You know, there's not a screen wipe, there's no sound effect to indicate you're going into battle. It's just cut to black. Cut to black, wait a moment, battle. You know, same when entering a different screen. Music cut, cut to black. Okay, yeah, chests up here. Another good thing about Suikoden is it's a pretty easy game, so I don't have to worry about doing much reading to, you know, check out armor stats, etc. Like, auto battle will do. I should have put the fire rune on Cleo, I did not do that. Well, we won't need it at this point, I think. Maybe. There we go. Get out of here, boar. Might be handy for the big set of 6 bandits. Yeah. And there is definitely one of those that is mandatory right before you fight Varkas and Sidonia. I can backtrack a little. That's no big deal. Let's see what's up here. Nothing. Now, I do not remember which one of these is the correct one. Okay, it's the one on the just to the left. Third from the right. It's interesting for me to see, playing this relatively on memory, what parts of this I remember from the English version and which I don't. The other reason I want to put the fire rune on Cleo is, of course, so we can see it and take in the slightly different effects that the spells will have. But as you can see, despite the multitude of minor differences so far, it's still very much Suikoden. You know, there's no mechanical changes. Battles, duels, war, all work pretty much the same as they always have. 1000 poch. Nice. Never gonna spend it, because I don't want to read a million Japanese menus. Shani's pizza arrived. Oh, I wish I had pizza. Jeez. This is also a good group of enemies to have a fire room for, really. Get that sweet group magic going. Everyone wants pizza. Shiny, share your pizza, please. Let's all have a slice each. Alright, let me auto, or not auto, but save state, in case things go dire while we're trudging back to Gregminster. Because there is no runesmith in Rockland. Oh, should have healed Louis. Oh, Pan took care of it. Thank you, Pan. I promise not to yell too much at you later in the game. That's a lie. I'm going to go ballistic when that happens. I don't know why, because it's a victimless crime. But we'll get there when we get there. Let's not have that conversation now. Potch, potch, potch. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Another stream, another new layout from good old Airstar. It's all I do. Play with layouts, and then occasionally stream, so I have an excuse to use the layout. Shiny would share it with us if they could. Of course, that's what they say after a long pause because they were shoving so many slices of pizza in their maw so that we could not get any. I know how it goes. Oh, sorry guys, no pizza left. Hey, no, you do you, Shiny. We didn't really want your pizza anyway. Namine and I are going to have our own, way cooler pizzas later. But yeah, I'm pleased with the layout. I'm pleased with the whole now playing thing up on top, because that's really easy for me to change. Even the artwork is. You know, it gradients out by itself. I do not have to set that anymore. That's the sort of thing I find interesting to talk about during a stream of one of my favorite video games of all time. RuneSmith, other side. Not a RuneSmith, what are they called? Oh. Like, the term is never consistent until around Suikoden 3, 4, and 5, but RuneSmith, Runemaster. Am I thinking of Runemaster? Gremio Cleo. There we go. Yeah, Rune Master. Thank you, Namine. Let me see. Let me see our item situation. Okay. $47 or after so many years, one's mind does start to blank on some of the Gensosuikoden minutia. Oh, not now. I did not save state. Boo earns. Okay. Give me 1 second. I am going to cry. But besides that, I'm going to... Let's see. Is there anything I could change here? I don't think so. Okay. I've meddled with some settings, but it is unlikely they will take until the next time this crashes. I'd have to quit and restart. I don't want to hold things up too much, so we'll just continue. I did not think that chest to where we were in Gregminster was 15 minutes. Chat interactivity. You can't beat it. Oh, I cannot wait until I have my desktop, and then I don't have to worry about things like this. It'll also mean I can stream games that came out before or after 1998, which would also be nice. Not that I don't love streaming retro games. Even before, almost every game I streamed was a retro game in one form or another. Except for Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE for the Wii U. Alright, level 7. Good stuff. I mean, if the game is going to crash, I would rather it do it on a timer, because at least that is something I can troubleshoot and isolate and try and figure out a fix for. If it was just seemingly doing it at random, that would be a lot more painful to try and play through. Oh geez, that buzzing is awful. And Louis is poisoned. Nominee has just said a sentence that probably makes perfect sense in context. I do not have any. Ah, I got a from a scouting ticket. These are all ostensibly words. It's a 5-star unit. Okay, this is some gotcha. Is this love life, love live? Cleo, take my rune. See, I know what all the kids are doing these days. It's gotcha games. Apparently. Let's see. Oh yeah, equip that, Louis. No more bandana for you, buddy. But if someone else can use it, like say Gremio. Horrible Suikoden 1 inventory management still a thing. Didn't get rid of that. Is that love live or love live? Live, right? Like the love is live and in concert. Yes, it's an idle game, so if it's an idle, no, I'm not going to do my fake outrage on this, but how can you be so cold towards Tokyo Mirage Sessions and then be into Love Live? I don't understand. I do not hate Suikoden 4. I'm actually quite fond of that game. Now, if you want to use a Suikoden game as a punching bag, let me tell you about a game called Suikoden 5. Cause, woohoo! That's a game. The item system? Suikoden 4's item system seemed okay to me. I mean, individual inventories are out, but probably should have stayed at the inn, shouldn't I? Yep. Okay. I know, Nominee, we've had this conversation. I've probably made you answer this question at least 5 times since I've known you. I guess the thing is, with Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I was in the opposite boat where I did not give a damn about that game until it revealed its true colors. Absolutely. There's games for everyone out there, you know? Variety in games is never a bad thing. And these days, it's never been easier to find a game to suit your tastes. Alright. Yeah, we'll heal Gremio. Oh, I should go back to Rockland and rest, so... everyone gets MP back. Was it supposed to be pronounced Sharp FE? Yes. Which is what I say when I am speaking the game's title out loud. Unless I'm being sarcastic, in which case I will say hashtag FE. I found Suikoden 4 quite charming. I'm very much aware of its weaknesses, you know. I did an article on theirstar.com about Suikoden 4 and its development history, and I feel that my criticisms of that game are valid. But I still have a fondness for that game and what it tries to do, even if I feel like it does not quite reach its goals. I mean, musically speaking, it should be F sharp E. That is true. But I believe it was rearranged to be sharp FE because to keep the FE as Fire Emblem clear in people's minds. Another save. Yeah, despite my fondness for Suikoden 4, like, if I'm ranking games, it's in the lower half almost by default, you know? At least if we're talking main series. Like, I put Suikoden 1 ahead of it because Suikoden 1 is my nostalgic favorite game in the series. I'd probably put Suikoden 2 above it, although I've cooled a lot on Suikoden 2 in the last 5 years or so. I'd put Suikoden 3 ahead of it, because Suikoden 3 might be my pick for objectively, quote unquote, best game in the series. And I would put 4 ahead of Suikoden 5. So even though I like 4 quite a bit, and I like a lot of the small touches in that game, like, I love the first person camera. That's an amazing idea. Shiny does bring up a point that it is, of course, more preferential towards the first Suikoden rather than Suikoden 2. And also the very good point that there are a lot of great female characters in that game. well, great designs at the very least. There are so many good female character designs that are just visually striking and interesting in Suikoden 4 compared to other games. Let's see. True Perception says 3, 5/2, 1, 4. I can see it. Except maybe for 5, but I've long since accepted I am the outlier when it comes to opinions on Suikoden 5. Alright, time for the random Queen Ant. No, it's not, because crash time. That was a good time for the crash. We're just going to enjoy the Sega Saturn boot up forever. Let's see. Naminé enjoyed Suikoden 5. Her main issue with it was the storyline, which borrows a lot of elements from Suikoden 2. Yeah. I believe, and it's only my opinion, but I believe Suikoden 5 uses past Suikoden games as a crutch instead of as a means to, further continuity. And that once you turn the series into that sort of nostalgia mine, then it becomes a franchise in a pejorative sense. In the same way that anyone with a suitcase full of money can open a franchise of a restaurant. It's like, here's the newest entry in the Suikoden franchise. It's got all your favorite trappings. 108 characters. Jean is naked. Here are some non-humans. Anthropomorphic animal de jour. Alright, here is the actual Queen Ant battle. Why am I even targeting specific enemies? Just hit whatever you can, team. There we go, that's a different earthquake effect, for sure. Agreed. On the beavers. But I thought Nakables was going a bit too far for my tastes. Although I appreciate the pun. It's okay, only Gremio died. Oh no! It's going to kill us, what can we do? Fools, you must protect me! Stay back, young master! Oh no! Louis, I have an idea. Whatever, Ted. Let's check out Saturn Soul Eater. Yep, it's still going on. We'll be going on quite a while, actually. We're not even at 2 hours yet, and I like to do at least 3 to 4. Hey Ted, yeah. I'm not that interested, Ted. I mean, thanks for the assist, but somehow the shame of being saved by you, Ted, is worse than being killed by the Queen Ant. Oh, whoops, I should have healed after the Queen Ant fight. You should at least give me 1 HP back. The game is so cheap. Alright, get that save state. Because although the setting changes I've made should now be sticking, I cannot guarantee it will actually solve the crash issue. I'm glad to see you here too, Julia. Smash that follow button if you haven't already. I've learned from extensive research that the only way to truly support a streamer is to smash buttons. Do not gently click into the good night. Alright. Oh hey, look, it's Varkas. There we go. Thank you for joining the Egg Gang. Pizza brought us together. It's true. Pizza brings everyone together. You're an egg now? I mean, let's be real. There we go, the follower thing has updated. Okay, I was wondering if it was going to do that automatically or if I would have to cajole it. It did it on its own. Everyone watching this stream is part of the Egg Gang. That's just how it goes. Oh, Pon is trying to big himself up. Cleo tells him, cut it out, you clown. Hey, you Imperials are the real tax thieves. Hey, here's 4 bandits. Ah. Of course, Julia just played Suikoden 1 in Japanese, so I no longer need to paraphrase anything that's happening in this game, as I am sure she is more than willing to translate this game in its entirety. Oh, we don't have the group spell yet. That's good. Check out those Vidder shadows. Ah, we didn't even get to level 8. Boo earns. Yeah, I hear ya. translating Suikoden books and the like, I'm very much the same. Sentence by sentence. Alright. Hey now, Sidonia, calm down. Bro, buddy, dude, pal, friend, amigo, senpai, kosai. There we go, shrink into nothingness. Fire spell animates a little differently because of the glittering transparency effect. That was a lot quicker than I normally beat Barkus and Sidonia. I wonder if they got nerfed. Am I using an emulator or what? Yes, I am. I don't have a Japanese Saturn here. Nor do I actually have my 2 copies of the game on hand. Although I assure you I do own it. Alright, save state that, for sure. Cleo grumpy that Kanan is taking all the credit. Barkus can't believe he lost to the pig dogs of the Empire. I also own the Windows 95 release of Gensosuikoden, which is another historical curiosity for sure. That one I can get running on my desktop in a Windows 95 emulator. How is Ireland when it comes to emulation and legality? It's the same situation as it would be in the United States. Emulators are legal because they are simulating the mechanics through which games are played, but do not actually contain any copyrighted code, or at least they're not supposed to. That's why you have to download BIOS and so on from a different source. ROMs and the like, ROMs, ISOs, are piracy. Alright, let's help that kid who was getting a literal foot up the ass. I like the shrinking away into nothingness death animation. I have no idea why, but I'm into it. Always save state. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do a round of Marco's different minigame. Oh no! Oh yay! Somehow that was a win. I'm the best at this game. Bye, Marco. Keep giving me money for no reason. That was pretty sweet. Always be safe, Staten. You got that right. Oh, what? You got the tax thieves? That's awesome. I'm gonna tell Commander Grady. Oh, what? You beat up some bandits? That's hella sweet, bro. What? You're the thief? You're stealing all the monies. We're gonna crucify you now. How about that? Hey, Cannon. How would you like a really big bribe? You wouldn't because the game crashed. Hey, Cataries. Cataries made the game crash. The power of Cataries and Julia combined, I do not have to translate anything in this game any longer. So I'm just going to mash the X button. Or the C button rather. The C button is what you would use on a Saturn controller. I'm just going to close my eyes and mash the C button and, you know, those two can tell you what's happening. Ah, small, very minor change. The 10,000 pots received in this pops up in a normal dialog box. In the PlayStation version, it pops in a special center of the screen text box. Very important, I know. Alright, back to Gregminster. But yes, if you're just coming into the stream, we've been having an issue where what is presumably a memory leak causes the game to crash every 15 minutes or so. Text box is not semi-transparent. Or is that an emulator thing? No, I could change that. There we go. It looks horrible. So horrible, I'm going to change it back immediately. The Saturn version of Gensosuikoden defaults to opaque. I do wonder what is causing that memory leak. If indeed it is a memory leak that is causing the crash. Heart icon for HP, I love it. Yeah. Kanan's like, I'm going to report on what happened. Pon's all, you're just doing that so you'll say cool stuff about yourself. Cleo's like, I don't care. Ted, come with me. Why? No reason. Kanan is a respected member of the Imperial Army. I have no reason to listen to anyone slander. Whoa. And that over to Louis. Chase those birds. Get out of the way, birds. Alright, let's save state here. Boom. Okay. Food is good. Gremio is good at food. That's what Pam said. Whoa, what's downstairs? Oh, it's just Ted. He's just drunk again, don't worry about it. Ugh, Ted. There's Ted all over the floor. Gross. Pond, Cleo. Sweep it up. Don't worry about it. He's in shock. That's why he's not helping. Louis just standing to the side during all of this, with no expression on his face. Just, I don't know. Oh, Louis. Oh, jeez. Things are bad, Louis. Done fucked up, Louis. Oh, Louis, let me tell you about earlier today when I went into this room that's not actually accessible in Gregminster Palace at all. Oh, well, you should just wait here, I guess. Because I told Craze you used the rune or whatever. And he's telling Windy, who coincidentally has the same name as that lady who's been hunting you for 300 years. Hey Ted, come into this room. It's fine, everything's cool. Ha ha ha, everything's not cool. After all. Aw, son of a biscuit. I'd like that rune now, even though I couldn't get it off you when I had Necklord and Uber with me. You know, when we had 3 true runes. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not giving you the rune. I'm just gonna blow myself up. Don't blow everyone up. I'm gonna blow us up now, bye. See how brave Craze and Kanan are? They don't even budge. Oh, hey Ted. That story seemed like horseshit. Hey, we're not supposed to make trouble while Master Tio is out getting wasted in jousting. Let's just wait for / if Ted wakes up. Hey Pan, what are you doing outside? I'm just gonna go get some medicine. Get some of Pond's special medicine. Ugh. He's waking up. I know. What the hell are you talking about, Soul Eater? What Eater? Oh, Louis. Oh, jeez. You know, gotta tell you some stuff, man. I don't really care, Ted. You're kind of in Cleo's bed even though you have your own room. I don't know what that's about. Oh, Louis, let me... Oh, you know, you gotta take off that glove. Ha, you touched my hand. Now we're married. Oh, one of the 27 true runes? Yep. Oh, Wendy wants that rune? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. She's like evil or something? You know, 300 years. Did I tell you about that time I was on like a boat and there was this big dude. He was like really big, Louis. He was like some weird 5-headed dragon slug. He was like, oh, I will have the Soul Eater forever. And then like Leknot turned up and blew him up. Oh, by the way, I know Leknot, I just pretended not to when we were on Magician's Island. That was pretty crazy, right? And anyway, then I got off that boat and I went on to another boat. And I was like, I was just in a mood, Louis. I was in a mood. So this dude, you know, he's got a ponytail. Found him on an island somewhere. He's on the boat and he's like, I want to get to know you. And I'm like, what? But like, he's just bugging me, and even when our little island boat war was over, he just followed me, and then he died. I don't know why I'm confessing this to you on my deathbed. No, Ted, I don't really want to help you. Your rune is bad. Yeah, don't let Wendy have it. I know. It's fine. Blue, 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 blue. Oh no! Stuff's going on outside, Gremio. Let's go check it out. I'm just going to use the secret exit ahead of time. No? Fine. I guess it's kind of wrong of me to just leave Cleo and Gremio and Ted. Ah. Pon told us everything. Pon, you're a jerk. Jesus, Pon. That's pretty much what Gremio says. Pon's like, I'm really bad at deducing situations and who's in the right and who's in the wrong. I'm just bad at this entire thing. Cleo's like, do you have a warrant? Can't do nothing without a warrant. Then Ted comes out the front door like a dumbass before we can pursue that legal avenue. Oh, fine, Ted. Gremio's like, how could you abandon Ted? Cleo says, how could you not abandon Ted? Okay, yeah. For serious, Pon's relationship with Tio is super interesting in that he's basically a servant who was beaten into service. Right? I mean, Pon served... Sorry, he served Gale Rugner during the War of Succession. He was... Gosh darn it, I pressed the... Who earns? That was all me. That wasn't even the game this time. We're gonna have to do that again. But yes, Pon served Gale Rugner during the War of Succession. He was defeated by Tio MacDowell in a duel and came to serve the MacDowell household from that point onward. So there's also an interesting cycle in that they duel again later on. Spoilers. The War of Succession is pretty interesting, and I wish there was more information on it. The old Suikoden forums used to have a whole War of Succession roleplay, long before the much larger, all-encompassing nation system took its place. It was much more of an RP situation. Rain effect is consistent between Saturn and PlayStation. Okay. Why are you so wet, Louis? I don't know. Nothing illegal. How many years ago was Suikoden really active? 2006? 2008? I believe is when Vexter / Blue Moon / SARS admin had to stop updating and working on the site due to health issues. And after that, it was a quick fall from grace. 2008 / 2009, because it was after Tier Christ had come out, which also hurt the fandom a lot. Even the version of the forum that's still up today is essentially a restored archive. Uh-huh. There was a lot of good and a lot of bad in the Suikoden fandom at its high point, which would have been around 2004 to 2006, we'll say. Around the whole Suikoden 4, Rhapsody, Suikoden 5 era was probably its largest point. Yes, I would imagine, Julia, you are too young to take part in the fandom. You would have been around 2 years old at the time. Although there were fans who were around 10, 12 years old. Like those forums weren't particularly adult, you know. There was no perving going on. That is pretty wild. But I guess even though you loved the game since you were a kid, if you weren't searching out the fandom when you were a kid, even when you became a teenager, by that point, the fandom was pretty much dead. Okay, you know, Victor, he helped us out. He'll help us out more if we ask. And so we shall. Oh, you need some help? That's cool. Domine is definitely a series Bob. Nah, Victor, come on now, can't do it. Alright, Victor. Giant. I thought that fade out was a crash, but it wasn't. That's right, Quicksilver Inc. over on Tumblr. We started playing around 2003, 2004-ish, so that would have been just around the time Suikoden 4 came out, which makes sense. Yeah, the fandom would have been pretty much in its heyday. At that point, it seemed like the series was really going to keep on growing because you had Suikoden 4, you had Rhapsodia, Suikoden Tactics rather, and you had Suikoden 5 come out all within a year and a half. That's a lot of Suikoden in a short amount of time. Oh yes, the Empire is corrupt. You can bribe soldiers. It's terrible. Everything is coming apart at the seams. Oh, and we used Gremio's money to do it. Alright, Catteries. Hope to see you later. Where's Lennon Camp? It's to the south, dummy. Oh, poor baby Louie. Get that sweet save state. But then in 2005/2006, Suikoden 5 was localized, and it did very poorly in sales, both in the US and in Japan. And to be fair, despite my criticisms of the game, I don't think that speaks to a lack of quality in that game. In retrospect, 2005 was a bad year for RPGs in general for reasons I can't quite pinpoint. Alright, True Perception. Enjoy your nap. So you had that disappointment, and then you had Tear Cries, which, look, I really like Tear Cries. I think generally it's an excellent game. Not perfect, but a very enjoyable video game. Certainly worthy of being included in the Suikoden series. But Tear Cries absolutely slaughtered fan enthusiasm. Stone dead. Like a meteor struck the Suikoden fandom. Mass extinction. It's a very cool game. At the time, I, like almost everyone else in the fandom, was disappointed it was not in step with continuity. I never really hated it because of that, but like, one of the draws of the Suikoden series was its shared world. And fans never felt that there was a good excuse to abandon that continuity. Alright, Louis, Gremio, and Cleo are very sad that Pon turned out to be a big stinker and betrayed us, just so Tio wouldn't be mad. The plot wasn't very political in Tear Cries, that's true. Oh no! Someone tipped off the Imperial Guard that there are fugitives here. Innkeeper's trying to buy us time. Yeah, Tear Cries focus more on the philosophical aspects of the series. You know, fate and destiny and free will. I mentioned years ago on Tumblr, I believe, that Tear Cries borrows many elements that fans would have proposed for a climatic or final Suikoden game, just with the details filed off to keep it outside of continuity. You know, you got this large political military force obsessed with order and a rigid sense of destiny, collecting all the powerful magical artifacts in the world. You know, it is basically the Harmonia final game fangasm theory. Oh, by the way, that was Odessa Silverberg. Whoops, I almost pressed the wrong key. Yeah, I feel the Order is very much a Harmonia stand-in. you know, characters from other parts of the Infinity are basically stand-ins for cameos from other games, I feel. A3 in particular is basically a distillation of every main series Tenkai star. Okay, Victor's like, haha, I'm in the Liberation Army. And we're in a sewer, and it smells bad. Oh, Des is like, sorry. Sorry he didn't tell you. Flick's like, I hate everyone. Victor, you're stupid for bringing them here. You three are stupid for coming here. Everyone's stupid. Ah, but now we can, like, recruit them. We're not joining the rebels. That would be rebellious. Oh, maybe I totally should though. I'm like 16. I'm gonna overthrow the government. I'm going to crash. Yep, there we go. There's the game. Crashing once again. But it's cool. We weren't that far. Liberation Army this, Rebels that. Maybe I should join. But what would my father think? Who cares what your father thinks? You're your own man. You're a man called Louis. See, he says he's interested. Yeah, but there's a spy somewhere in the Liberation Army. That spy could be anywhere, even 6 inches to my right. Cough, cough. Let's leave. Oh no, someone fell down the stairs again. Oh, I've fallen down the stairs again. Jeez, let's move him. See, I would have just stepped over him. Oh, you Odessa? Let me tell you about my boys, Varkas and Sidonia. They're thieves, but they're the good kind of thieves. They only attack bad people. Now they're being strung up in Rockland. And Cleo was like, that's against the law. Blix just, whatever. Oh, our bad, says Louis. How's it your bad? Well, fade out. Fade in. Yeah, that's kind of messed up, says Victor. It kind of is totally all your fault. Gremio does some mental gymnastics to make overthrowing a governor of the Empire an act of fidelity to the Empire. But that's good enough for us, because that means we get to do more plot. Alright, formation. Victor front row, Cleo back row. Let's continue. I was planning to stream this game a lot longer, but the crashes are beginning to bug me, so like I'm not going to end it in the next 10 minutes or anything, but probably run this a little shorter than I was intending, and then see if I can fix the issues for next time. Alright, let's go. World map, yeah, yeah. Rockland, yeah, yeah. Fusa Fusa. Yeah, yeah. These portraits are really nice. I prefer them to the PlayStation portraits. Some people disagree. Some people find this version of the game subpar. Is making you want to play it again, Shiny? I would always recommend playing this game. As I said, this is my nostalgic pick for best game in the series. Even though I am very much aware of its faults. Item management alone makes this actually not the best game in the series. But let's see, what's the MP situation? We have lots of money. I'm going to stay at the inn and see if that fixes our MP up. You never finished Suikoden 3? That's a shame. Oh hey, you want to come in? Well, stop asking or else we're going to put you up like those two guys. Yuck, 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 yuck. And they're being crucified because they're being crucified in the Japanese version, not just tied to a post. That is also the same in the PlayStation Japanese version. Victor's like, I'm going to show you a trick. And it's not the same trick in Suikoden 2. This is a fire trick. Wow, everyone dumping on Suikoden 3. Don't take after him, young master. Okay. Victor's like, don't touch the flame. Oh, all the Luke drama. Okay, yeah, I can see why you stopped playing. That's yeah, understandable. No, Suikoden 3 is a excellent game. Insofar as any person can be objective, it might be objectively the best game in the series. But there's so many different criteria. Ooh, apologies for that yawn. There's so many different criteria for what makes a game great. Like I often say, Suikoden 1 is my favorite. Suikoden 3 is the best game overall, and Suikoden Tactics is the best mechanically, just sheer gameplay wise. What makes it better than Suikoden 2? I don't know if I have a way to answer that isn't just me dragging on Suikoden 2. You know? My opinion on Suikoden 2 has cooled an awful lot in the last few years. Instead of defeating enemies, are we just turning them into ants? We're shrinking them down, and then we're sending them to Creed in Shining Force 2 for his desktop kingdom. These are all the inhabitants of that. And then they get to see Adler freak out later on. There's a deep cut. But yeah, okay, Suikoden 3 is better than Suikoden 2 because I feel its plot is a lot tighter. It's more internally consistent. I feel it plays the balance that Suikoden games always try to play, where both sides are seemingly reasonable from their own point of view. It does that a lot better than Suikoden 2 does. I don't find any of the resolution at the end of Suikoden 3 nearly as egregious as Suikoden 2's ending. Suikoden 2's good ending. Suikoden 2's quote-unquote good ending. I think Suikoden 2 has a bad beginning. Like, the very beginning, Tenzan Pass is good, but the Mercenary Fortress stuff goes on too long. There's just a lot of running back and forth with no character agency. Yeah, I think it's absolutely valid to like Suikoden 2 more than Suikoden 3. I would agree with the aesthetic point you raised, Naminé. I'm very much a sprite advocate. Always will be. Suikoden 2 soundtrack is generally very good. It's not my favorite, but there are a lot of excellent tracks. Definitely have no complaints about the soundtrack. If I'm continuing to rag on Suikoden 2, I feel many of its ancillary Stars of Destiny are just plain boring. No, I think that's a valid complaint as well, Shiny. Going through repeating areas in Suikoden 3 is definitely a drag sometimes. There we go. There's our all-range spell from Cleo. Fire! Oh, flame burn 'em! That definitely looks different from the PlayStation version. Level ups for everyone except Victor. Varkas, Sidonia, you are being very offensive. You are being blasphemous. It's not cool. It's not funny. You're just being edgelords. Vicky teleport the whole ship and everyone on it every time you used Vicky's ability in Suikoden 4? I think the real answer to that question is you're not supposed to think about it. Oh, Grady's like, oh, how dare you release these two tax thieves? I'm gonna tell on you. And Barkus is like, I'm gonna cut off your ass and then fry it for lunch. Grady's like, Then Sidonia's like, I'd rather make a ball stew with his balls. And Grady's like, I'm gonna go now. And so he does. Gremio was like, whoa, that'd be pretty awesome and hot if we were into vor, right, Cleo? And Cleo's like, haha, yeah, if. They really cleaned that up for the English version. Barkus is like, I'm out of here. Time for the game to crash. When Barkus is out of here, he gets the hell out. All the way. And we reload back up and we'll do that again. We get to see that entire vor conversation. The game crashed because I talked about vor. This is a judgment-free zone. I am pointing where a camera would be if I had a camera set up. So just know I am pointing at you, the viewer. No judgment. Alright, Barkus is like, if you don't stop imprisoning us, our feelings will be hurt. And Sidonia is like, yeah, that's a microaggression. And Grady's like, I'm sorry, bye. There. Is that what you wanted to hear? Are you happier now? Alright, Barkus says, oh, thank you for saving me. We're gonna go. If you ever need my awesome chin strap, just say the word. Say the words, awesome chin strap. Victor doesn't think that the chin strap was that awesome. Cleo agrees, thinks it's kind of dorky, actually. But that's okay. I like that there's both a load and then once the map loads, it takes a couple of seconds for the audio track to boot up. Like, the Sega Saturn was good at one thing, and that was doing cool things with sprites. Everything else in the world, kind of bad at. But boy, could it make these squares look good. Oh, we should stay at the inn. Alright, just go and use your clock. Don't worry about it, dude. going on here? Nothing. A fully translated Shining Force 3 would be really nice. Odessa, you're not going to tell them about the secret weapon? Secret weapon? Hey Louie, look at this secret weapon. Secret weapon? Metal Gear? It's called a Fire Spear. Fire Spear? Oh yeah, it's really cool. We kind of suck now, but one day we'll have to set a lot of people on fire. For freedom. Yes, we paid a lot of money to the dwarves for the ability to set fire to many people at once. Louis, we got to go to some bumpkin village. What? We're not going to any bumpkin village. That's even worse than being in a sewer. We're gonna go get beheaded by the Empire. Much better than staying here. Louis, you must become your own person. Surely showing any loyalty to the nation state that has provided a social security net for you all your life means you are a bootlicker in the same vein as your father. Greenman was like, what? Come on, Cleo. Talk some sense into him. Cleo has not been paying attention to this conversation. She has checked out ever since the whole pawn thing. I think she's still daydreaming about Leknot, really. Oh, it's okay. I'm coming with you. So, if the three of you are planning to betray the Liberation Army, surely this will work out great. Ah, don't worry, Flick. Nothing will happen. Odessa joins the party. $70 pot person though, jeez. Dude, your inn isn't that good. Also, we're both in the Liberation Army, kind of. Shouldn't we at least get a discount? Or maybe that is the discount and the place costs like 8,000 pot a night. We do get the only room with a clock, after all. Okay. Gonna go to Saradi. Maybe he dies in the PlayStation version. We don't know if he dies in the Sega Saturn version. Maybe he becomes a very important recurring character. That's the great thing about playing this port. You don't know what's changed. I am not even fighting 6 mosquitoes. That's the worst. That is the dirt worst. We're not doing it. Oh, it's the bridge. Yeah, it's above planet camp. There we go. Oh, turn. D-pad being a little funky. But that's my calibration of it. Oversized crows, please go away, thank you. The unfortunate thing about playing the Saturn version of Suikoden is big changes don't come until around the middle of the game. I mean, we've seen a bunch of small incidental changes up until this point. I mean, every time a portrait appears on screen, we are seeing one of those changes. But as previously mentioned, the two biggest changes to this version of the game is an entire subplot about the pirates and a Colosseum mode that also has the Darkness rune as a prize. The Darkness rune, of course, is commonly stated to have first appeared in Suikoden 2 as a kind of baby Soul Eater rune, but it in fact makes its debut here in the Suikoden on Sega Saturn. And of course this game came out before Suikoden 2 did. This came out in Japan in '96. Less than a year after the PlayStation version. I almost feel like the difficulty of this game has been dropped, if that's even possible, from the original. So what does it go? What does it do? The Darkness rune? I believe, although we'll find out for sure when I actually get to that part of the game, I believe it serves the same function as that rune does in Suikoden 2. Which would be that it would have a very weak level 1 spell, and then it would take the level 1, 2, and 3 spells from the Soul Eater. The Rune of Life and Death, to give it its proper name. I think we'll play up until, you know, all the stuff with Odessa when we return to Lennon Camp, and then save and call it there. Small possibility I might just switch to a different game, perhaps. Oh, only his friends can call it Soul Eater. I see. As long as the lore is consistent, I don't mind that. Please, Mr. Rune of Life and Death was my father. Nice. Not keen on the two-step effect of a fire spell. Just because it takes a long time, or just like aesthetically? I think that's another limitation of the Saturn hardware. It's interesting to see what parts of this game apparently played well with the Saturn and which kind of did not. I would probably agree that spell animations do not go quite so smoothly on the Saturn as they do on the PS1. Oh, let's keep going. Oh no, wait, it's Ledon. He's like, have some tea. But we just want to keep going. Oh, we should keep going. Oh, no one cares. When I'm leader of the Liberation Army, you are both being executed for treason. Alright, bye. Oh. No choice. This game runs on rails like one of my D&D campaigns. Now that's a deep cut. Alright, let's all have some tea. What's it called? Oh, it's called Robber's Tea. Oh, that's a cool name for a drink. I'm gonna drink a lot of that. I'm not gonna drink bitter tea. Screw you. Drink it anyway. Oh, okay. That was a good time for me to save state. Tea should not be bitter. There are several types of tea that are bitter. Oh, let's drink some tea. Oh, that's a fine name for a tea. Whoa. Then everyone fell over. I don't think Victor and Gremio are supposed to be blue. If they are, they're probably actually dead. I don't know. Did Ledon just pull out a Sharpie and just color in their faces? LMAMO from Shiny. Every time you think there could be a different typo for LMAO, Shiny manages to find one. But it's okay. Ledon is going to cure us all. No more blue. Did Cleo's hair get lighter too? It looked like to me like a different palette was applied and that shifted everyone's colors slightly. I would have to go back and check and see if that's an emulation issue or if indeed that happens when I'm playing the game on Sega Saturn. Check out everyone's Japanese snores. Cleo snores just like pandas. Blah, 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 blah. I won't give Python tea anymore in case someone happens to be famous. Oh, I am a bandit, but Odessa is a real hope. But, you know, if she was some other random woman who came here and had tea, yeah, I would have robbed everything from her and tossed her out into the snowy mountain to die. Why? Problem? Like the music starts, and then because the scene changes, it has to fade out and fade back in again. So we get the first second and a half of that song before it pauses. It's pretty silly. Okay. You know, Kessler probably spends a lot of time outside. Bum, 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 bum. If the sun shines brightly, it doesn't matter if there's snow or not. You'll still get burned. The sun can shine brightly, and it can still be freezing cold. More treasure, more medicine. If you're disappointed that I'm not reading out all the dialogue, you should know that I read one sentence of Tio at the very beginning of this stream. So you should all go back and check that out. Yeah. Julia would know. Julia would know all about the snow, I believe. Okay, we're here in Saturday. This place sucks. Let's find an inn. That won't be hard, says everyone. Because this place is small and sucky. This is probably an inn, everyone says simultaneously. Oh, what? You want to stay at the inn? That'll cost 50 potch a person. Everyone's sleeping again. Oh, Louis, I couldn't sleep, so I came out here. Have emotional conversations. I was kind of hoping it would be Cleo, but you'll do in a pinch. The hell? Oh, you know, there's a lot of people in the Liberation Army, but they're all kind of downers. Except you, Louis. You're not a downer. What? Oh, you know, you got eyes, Louis. Your eyes, they're like there's two of them. You know, the left dot one is like pretty, the other one is pretty cool too. You know, you put them both together, that's a leader. It's a leader right there. Oh, you know, so many good people in the Liberation Army, but none of them have eyes like yours. Your eyes, oh, Louis, just, man, you've so much eyes. The ratio of eye to face you have, Louis, is pretty awesome. Oh no, we got interrupted. Hey lady, your conversation was pretty messed up. You gotta stop rambling like this. Oh, I don't have to listen to you. I can barely see your eyes. They're not leader eyes. Yeah, but I got my sweet ninja bangs. Oh, let me ask you the passcode. I don't need a passcode. Oh, here are some fire spears. Please don't lose them. No, wasn't planning on it. Bye. Well, that was nice. Alright, Louis, I'm going to bed. Forget everything I said. I always sleep in the bed next to Odessa just to give everyone something to gossip about in the morning. Grimmy was like, "You two fucked, and I am so upset. Young master." Julia is not picking Godot for Flame Champion because he only has one eye, which is discriminatory behavior that I must disavow. Julia's opinions do not represent those of the Egg Gang or any of its constituent members. Alright. On the way back to landing camp. Mission well done. Nothing's gonna go wrong. It is very true that Godot's eye patch could be an affectation. Just more proof, if any was needed, that Godot is the father of George Prime. As fans have ingeniously speculated based on their shared eye patch heritage. Because eye patches are a genetic condition. Have people really speculated that? Yes. That was an actual... Yeah. I mean, the Suikoden community was very big at one point. There was a wide variety of thought processes among its members. I mean, Godot definitely has no difficulty in being competent. Same with George. Any deficiency they may have experienced from having an eye covered, they've clearly adapted to. Rikimaru equals Richard Silverberg. I mean, that started off as a Suikoden crack theory. You have to remember, Suikoden started off as SARS, the Suikoden Assumptions and Rumors Site, I believe was the acronym. And the idea was that the administrator and contributors would make up implausible Suikoden theories and try and back them up somehow. One of those was Rikamaru is Richard Silverberg. Another was that Taggart was a Highland spy. Samus from Suikoden 3 is a Harmonian spy. That was another one. Let's see. Something about the Chief of the Dwarves. I mean, all those theories are still up on the Suikoden site itself. suikox.com. The forums, before I joined, used to be divided into, I think, 4 debating houses that would basically construct these fallacy-ridden arguments for implausible theories, all in the name of fun. That's a crash, and I haven't auto-saved or save-stated in a bit, so that's going to be fun. Okay, boom. Stage load, boom. Yeah, we haven't even... We just left Sardi. Joey's Hugo's dad. As if Lucia would go there. I mean, she probably went somewhere. It would be hard to do much worse than Joey, to be fair. Poor Julia Blight. Shipped off to the equivalent of a Harmonian convent. Look. If we want to take Word of God, in a recent interview with the Suikoden revival movement, series creator, producer, etc., Yoshitaka Moriyama suggested that Hugo in fact inherited the blonde hair from his father. So in that case, we're scouting. When people tended to scout dark-haired characters, they were definitely scouting the wrong side. So I'm willing to continue with my assertion that Hugo's father is Boris Wiesen. He's blonde-haired. He's an honorable soldier. He's a good man. These are all traits ascribed to the anonymous father of Hugo. Really, it's the only logical conclusion. Let's save state here. Kyle died a virgin, so no, it could not be Kyle. Man, this mountain keeps going. As far as I know, and I know a lot. I was a teenager once. I know how people who are virgins, who do not want to be regarded as virgins, talk. And Kyle is the embodiment of that. Almost back to Lennon Camp, where nothing will go wrong. That's why I'm singing this nothing will go wrong song. What is this leveling up you're doing, Julia? I know, you're growing as a person, and that's wonderful. Aren't we all leveling up in our own way? There is a bot in the chat that tracks how long you've been in the chat, how much you've participated in the chat. You gain experience points based on that, and when you reach a certain amount, you level up. I've never actually come up with a use for that mechanic, but oh hey buddy, what's wrong? Oh, oof, ouch, my bones. Oh hey buddy, I'm sorry you're dying and all, but I need to save. Thanks dude. Really doing me a solid. You can skip some of these Imperial Soldier battles because you could just go straight down to the plot. But they're decent XP, so there's no real reason to skip them. I mean, it's all sake in this version, except for when it's actually tea. Yeah, I feel like enemies are weaker in this version of the game. Wow, Julia just turned 21 and now she's regressed back to being a bab. Life is unfair. Oh, let's just auto attack. And once more, with feeling. Age is fluid. That's a sentiment that'll get you put on a lot of lists. And that's as far as we're going with that line of conversation. Got that high res Odessa scream. I should probably save state. Boom. Alright. Y'all ready for some heartbreak? Hey Odessa, what's wrong? Hey Odessa, what's wrong? I'm giving birth to this child. Pop. Run away, newborn son, who is also fully clothed. Yes, mother, I shall run away. Bye. Ugh. Whoa. How did you squeeze that one out? Yeah, it's like, whoa, you know? Oh. Really hurts you guys. So this is for sure not the kid she adopted with Achilles. No, it is not Mikhail. I do not believe so. It is never mentioned as being as such in any publication. But I guess you could headcanon it. There's nothing that says it can't be. Who has blue hair? Stallion. There we go. That's that mystery solved. Odessa, shut up. We can't understand you because your mouth is filled with blood. Hey, Louis, will you eat my carrots? Odessa, I don't want to hear any last requests. I don't feel like carrying your stuff around. Especially if you're dead. You're not going to get on my case about it. Oh, I got the earring. Oh, tell Flick he was a great friend. Oh yeah, I'll totally dump your body in the sewer, don't worry about it. Everyone else is like, oh, how could you? Like, one, her corpse is going to smell bad anyway because it'll be a corpse. Two, it already smells like sewer because we're in a sewer. I'm not bringing some sewer corpse up to a respectable funeral home. That's just bad form. What, bring her up and wait for the damp mildew of the sewer to evaporate in the sun? Come on. Barf. Splash. There should be a splash sound effect. Everyone's all sad. Hey, inn's under new management. What? Same low prices. Same saving service. Oh hey, I heard everyone in the Liberation Army is dead. Awesome. And we're going to leave it on that bombshell, that amazing cliffhanger. Everyone in the Liberation Army is dead forever. There's no coming back from that one. Alright, I think this stream went okay, even though 1, the game crashes every 15 minutes, and 2, I am severely sleep deprived, so I have just been stream of conscious rambling since around 22 minutes into the stream. And the game just crashed. But I will boot it back up while I ramble a bit more. Should be back streaming tomorrow, possibly. If not, then almost certainly the day after. I was thinking of returning to Lux Pain, but I might just jump back into Beyond Oasis, the story of Thor. Or I might start a different Genesis game. I've been on a Mega Drive Genesis kick lately. We'll see what happens there. Either way should be fun. I hope you'll come out for it and not just stick to the Suikoden streams, but your life, your choice. If you're watching this and you haven't already followed, give me a follow. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed or donated, give me cold hard currency. Because what? You're just going to spend it on food or lodging or medicine or school. You know, don't prepare for your future. You know, you pay attention to the news. There's no future. We're all going to be dead in 10 years. May as well make me rich beforehand, right? But yes, thank you for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Having you all in the chat, you know, bantering back and forth is what makes streaming worth it. I'm still looking at where the camera would be. It's not, you can't even see me do this thing I'm doing with my hands. It's, oh jeez, I'm very tired. Okay, thank you everyone. I'll see you next time. You know, follow me on Twitter, follow the Discord. I'll post when I'm streaming on both of those channels. Until next time, be good, be kind, take care of yourselves, take care of others. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.